So, you know when you trade in your iPhone, does anyone ever actually get the amount of money that they're promised? In today's video, that's exactly what we're going to find out. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Ronan and I make product and tech reviews. And in today's video, I want to talk about the iPhone trade-in process, and specifically whether or not you actually get the amount of money that you're ever promised or quoted when you trade in your phone. And if you're new around here or you don't know, I actually ordered the iPhone 16 Pro when it launched last September, and it arrived sometime in early October, and I've been using it since then. But when I ordered my iPhone, I ordered it directly from Apple, and I traded in my old iPhone 13 Pro as part of the process. And essentially the way the whole thing works is when you're buying your new iPhone from Apple and trading in your old phone at the same time, Apple give you a quote for kind of the maximum amount that they will give you for your old phone, depending on the type of phone it is and kind of the quality that it's in. So for example, if it's badly damaged or if the screen is broken or that kind of a thing, you won't get the full amount that they quote for that model. And when you're going through the whole process with Apple and trading your phone in online and buying a new one and all that, you obviously don't send your old phone back kind of then and there. So essentially what happens is you pay full price for your new phone as if you're not doing a trade-in at all, but you tick the option for a trade-in. And essentially what happens then is Apple sends you out a box that you put your phone in, and then you send it back to them. And once they've kind of processed it and assessed it, they will give you a refund for the trade-in value back onto your credit card. So that's how the whole process works. And essentially it means that when you agree to the trade-in process, you actually can change your mind and decide to keep your old phone, but you just don't get any money back for it if you do that. So essentially the way it worked is when I was putting through the order for my new phone, I just explained what type of phone I had. I had an iPhone 13 Pro in slate, and Apple said that I would get up to 280 euro off the price of my new phone. 280 euro is a huge chunk of money off the cost of my brand new phone, so that's absolutely how much I was hoping that I would get back. And there was kind of a lot of steps involved in the process. And for me, the process wasn't entirely smooth. So I kind of just want to take you guys through what happened. So first of all, I ordered my new phone kind of as normal through the Apple online store, and I ticked the option for trade-in. I went through all of the details for my old phone. So I kind of gave them the model number, the storage capacity, I think. I gave them like the serial number for the phone so they could kind of verify that the phone that I was trading in was the phone that I was saying it was. And they quoted me 280 euro back for my phone, and then I kind of had to fill in a little form. It's like a little checklist of like kind of the condition of the phone. So like the screen on the front and the back had no like chips or cracks or anything like that. Full disclaimer, my front screen was quite badly scratched all along the bottom section here. So I was a bit concerned that that might have an impact on actually how much I would get back on my trade-in, and I'll get to that when we kind of get to the end. But essentially I ordered my phone as normal, and like it took about almost 2 weeks, I think, from when I ordered my phone to when I got my new iPhone 16 Pro. And in that time, I just continued using my old phone as normal. So a few days after I got my new phone, then another delivery arrived, and it was a little cardboard box so that I could send my old phone back to Apple. But before I actually sent the phone back to Apple, there were a few things that I needed to do. Namely, I needed to log out of my Apple account. I needed to log out of Find My, and essentially I needed to just erase all my personal data from the phone. So essentially what I ended up doing was I went into settings and I went to general, I went to transfer or reset iPhone, and then I hit erase all content and settings. And when you do this, what it does is it actually automatically logs you out of your Apple account, and it also logs you out of Find My, which are two things that they say need to be turned off. And it also erases all of the data on the phone. So that entire process was super quick, super easy, and just, it's really, really convenient. The only thing that you kind of need to do is make sure that you've got a backup of your phone before you erase it. But because my new phone had already arrived a few days earlier, I'd already switched over to using the new phone, so I was confident that I had everything on the new phone before I even started the process of clearing my old phone down so that I could send it back to Apple. Let's take a look at this box. So it has these two like tabs here, and there's this like tape over these to kind of keep them stuck down. So I'll have to peel that off, I guess, when I'm sealing it back up again. But we just open this, and yeah, so this whole piece of tape here will come off and this will be sticky, I assume. This is the box. Oh, great. So there's actually a return label here. So I don't need to kind of worry about printing a return label. I've actually got one here. I presume I just need to kind of go on to UPS and arrange for the collection. So we'll stick that on the front of the box when we're done. The first thing I need to do is I just need to open these out and put the phone kind of in here in the center, and then just fold these tabs over. And we're just gonna fold this over like this. And now I'm gonna peel this off. So you can see there's this like sticky tab all along here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that. And then I just stick those down. So that's it kind of sealed. And then I just tear this tab off because it says, please remove tab before sending. And now I just need to put the new return label over my original shipping label. And that's kind of it. That is ready to go. So I just need to kind of arrange to send this back now. So I need to figure out how to do that. So up to this point, everything was super straightforward and super easy to do, but now I needed to arrange a collection from UPS to send my old phone back to Apple. And this is where things became less straightforward. So the first problem that I had was I couldn't find any way to arrange for UPS to come out to my house to collect the phone without actually arranging and paying for a new collection. And then there was also no information on the Apple website about how I was supposed to arrange this collection either. And I found this really, really surprising because generally when you're arranging things to be collected from Apple, it's super straightforward. So I've just found this part of the process very un-Apple-like. In the end, what I did was I actually called UPS and I spoke to them on the phone, and I arranged for a delivery guy to come out to my house and collect the phone. And I gave them kind of all the details from the prepaid shipping label that was on the box so that it could be sent back. And that kind of organized the collection. However, on the day that the phone was scheduled to be collected, nobody from UPS came to collect it. So when I rang UPS to A, complain about the fact that nobody had come to collect my old iPhone, and B, to reschedule, the person that I spoke to couldn't actually see the original collection order, but they did arrange for somebody to come out the following day. The following day, nobody turned up to collect the phone. So at this point I was getting a little bit frustrated, and I was also getting a little bit anxious because part of the trade-in process is you have 2 weeks from when you receive the package to send your old phone back to Apple to send it back in order to complete the trade-in. So I was conscious of the fact that that time was starting to tick away now, and I was worried that with the way things were going with UPS that like they wouldn't collect my phone and get it back to Apple in time. So what I did was I rang Apple to see if they could help me with this part of the trade-in process. And straight away, the person that I spoke to at Apple, like, gotta say, they were incredibly helpful. First thing that they did was they extended the deadline by another 2 weeks from when I bought the phone, just in case there were any issues with collecting UPS. They completely acknowledged that the problem was with UPS and not with me, so I wouldn't have to be kind of punished or miss out or lose out for anything because of that. And then the other thing that the Apple customer service agent did, which I found really helpful, was that they actually searched for UPS drop-off areas in my location. Now they acknowledged that this wasn't ideal because I wanted to arrange a collection from my home and that shouldn't be an issue, but they did say that UPS have a number of locations in my area that I could bring the parcel to, and they could scan it there and I could leave it with them so that it would then be sent back to Apple. And in the end, that's precisely what I did. And like I said, while it was pretty annoying to kind of have to go there, at this point I feel like if I was waiting for UPS to come and arrange a proper collection from my home, I'd probably still have my old iPhone 13 Pro. So I drove out to the UPS collection center and I went in, and it's essentially a shop. But when I went in, they said, yeah, we do that. And they took the box off me and they scanned it and they just put it aside. Didn't get any kind of confirmation that it had been sent to UPS. I didn't get any kind of receipt or anything like that. So that was kind of terrifying, but I just kind of had to trust the process and that it was all going to be taken care of. And actually, when I got home, I logged into my Apple account on my laptop and I just like checked my iPhone order, and the trade-in was kind of included on that. And I could actually see that the trade-in had updated at that point. So it was actually saying that the barcode had been scanned and it was awaiting collection from UPS. As far as Apple were concerned, I had kind of done my bit in sending the phone back to be traded in. So then I just kind of had to wait, and I was waiting for Apple to kind of receive my old phone and process the trade-in to see whether or not I would actually get the €289 that Apple said that I should get for my phone. So then after about 3 or 4 days of waiting, I got an email from Apple to say that they had accepted my trade-in. And in the email, they didn't specify how much money I was going to get back, but they did say that the money would just be transferred back into my account. So a few days later, I was checking my bank statement online and I could see that I had the payment from Apple. And actually I had 2 payments from Apple. And I have absolutely no idea why it was done like this, but the first payment was for €229 and the second payment was for €51. So 229 plus 51 is 280. So I got the full amount that Apple quoted me at the outset for my iPhone 13 Pro. But for the life of me, I have no idea why I got it in 2 separate payments. So if your iPhone is in the condition that you say it is when you send it back to Apple, they will give you the amount that they quote you. And if you get something less than that, it's obviously that Apple have deemed that there's some kind of defect or something on the phone that means that you don't get the full value back because they can't reuse as many parts or whatever it is that they do with the old phones when they take them back. But at the end of the day, while the process was not exactly straightforward for me, the issues were not Apple issues. All the issues that I had were specifically with UPS. And Apple did give me the full €280 value that they quoted me for the trade-in on my old phone. So if you're somebody who's planning on buying a new Apple device and you're toying with the idea of maybe trading in your old one, I would 100% recommend trading in the old one. Because Apple will give you the amount that they say they will give you unless they find that your device really isn't in good condition. And when I traded in my iPhone 13 Pro, like it was a couple of years old and it really was far from pristine. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say about the Apple trade-in process. Like I said already, like wasn't the smoothest process that I've ever experienced, but on the whole, it was definitely a positive one. So I'm gonna leave this video here. I hope you've liked it. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.